Caleb in Harwood Heights, Illinois. You're on the air with Congressman Pocan.
Oh, first and foremost, it's an honor to speak with both of you, and I appreciate your service.
Thank you,
I
Caleb.
just wanted to raise a point that I'm guessing that I think, Tom, that you've already kind of lightly mentioned in the past, but I just want to bring this up. I think we need to start recognizing that, mind you, my background is I've voted Republican a lot of my life until just recently. I consider myself an independent, and now I've been voting more Democrat. But that being said, I think we need to recognize that there really is no Republican Party anymore. It is, to me, it is a Fox News party. And Rupert Murdoch is doing this here in America. He's doing this in England. He's doing this in Australia. And I just was curious if there's something that could be done about the fact that this media outlet, this media giant, is literally influencing democracies across the world. And, I'll end on this. I really think the Republican Party of today, it is not the Republican Party. It's the Fox News party.
Yeah. If I could add to that, Caleb, thank you for the call. The Kevin Rudd, the former Prime Minister of Australia, wrote a piece for the Sydney Morning Herald that was published a month or three ago, titled "The Cancer That Is Destroying Australian Democracy." And the cancer that he was specifically talking about, and he went through it in great detail, was Rupert Murdoch. He owns a majority of the media outlets in Australia right now. And he owns a significant chunk of them, as our caller pointed out, or Kevin, I think it was, no, that was Kevin Rudd. Anyhow, in the UK and now Fox News here, and plus the New York Post. Congressman?
Yeah, I agree in many ways, Caleb. I think, part of this for me is, Donald Trump being such a reality show star and that type of personality. He's really almost, the Republican Party now is a cult of Donald Trump, and Fox is simply the deliverer of the message, right? So they're not a news source per se, but they're the state's mouthpiece. And Donald Trump, works very closely, watches them in the morning, gets talking points. They reverberate and put out whatever he wants to say, and we do have to deal with that. We had this problem in Wisconsin for a while. We had conservative talk radio in the Milwaukee area. And it's a part of why we had some really bad election cycles going on. In fact, Charlie Sykes, who now is a talking head on MSNBC, was one of the leading, most conservative, most outrageous voices at the time. So we do have to deal with that media aspect of it because, the president purposely is saying fake news and putting out the enemy of the people and all this, so you only go to him to news. But to me, it's more like a cult of Donald Trump than a political party.
Yeah, amen. Russ in Hickory Hills, Illinois. You're on the air with Congressman Pocan.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Now that you won the House, Mr. Pocan, it's going to sound dumb. Do you have your resume handy to hand out to sit on one of these committees? If you don't do that, how do you sit on these committees? And you think that Eric Swalwell will be ahead of one?
Well, I think, the way it works is, once usually you're on a committee, there are a few exclusive committees, for example, Ways and Means, Appropriations, and Energy and Commerce. And then there's a lot of other authorizing committees that people have various interests in, and sometimes people will move a little bit. I've already done the moving. I'm on Appropriations. There's not really anywhere else to move, but I'm on the Labor, Human Services, Education Subcommittee, which is the second largest pool of money after defense, but probably the most important money for Democrats, and I'm looking forward to now governing in that regard. So for a lot of people, there won't maybe be a lot of movement. We got a lot of new people coming in that'll take on new assignments. We'll have additional seats on committees. And I think Eric is currently on Intelligence, and I believe Adam Schiff will probably remain as chair of that. But Eric will still be on the camera a lot. He's a good, strong spokesperson, and you'll certainly hear more of him in the coming years.
Yeah, and a fine thing it is. Rick in Flint, Texas, you're on the air with Congressman Pocan. We just have a minute to the break, Rick, if you could make it a quick one.
Yes. Can the Senate still cut Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare by themselves, or are they going to need the House of Representatives to do it?
Great question.
Yeah, Rick, I think they do need us, but what you brought up was a really valid point. I think The relaxing part for me was the last 2 weeks of the campaign, and the heavy work starts when we get back on Tuesday. They're going to have a lame duck session. That's the last chance to have the House, the Senate, and the White House in alignment. And while they've wasted it for the last 2 years, I worry about what they're going to do. For example, Homeland Security funding runs out in December. They could very likely try to add funding for the wall. I'm still worried. Paul Ryan's 2 goals in life are to cut taxes for rich folks. He got that done. And then to privatize Social Security and voucherize Medicare. He may still try to do that. We have got to be very vigilant and ready to be active in contacting our representatives, because things could move fast, and people who lost are looking for jobs. They're trying to show their prospective employers what they can get done for them. It's a great point. We have to watch. I am concerned that there could be action on those issues in the lame duck.
So you think there might be some Republican legislators who are figuring that if they can throw a bone to the insurance companies and screw all the rest of us, by trying to privatize Social Security or voucherize Medicare, that they will have $1 million job waiting for them at United Healthcare?
That, and that Paul Ryan, this is his swan song, right? This is what he went to Congress for, not to help people, but to take care of the rich special interests. So right. I would be wary.
Wow. Okay, yeah, I'm glad you're here every week. We really need to keep an eye on this. Congressman Mark Pocan is with us, the co-chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, taking your calls. It's Middays with Mark here on the Thom Hartmann Program. We'll be back with your calls right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202-808-9925.
And you can tweet Congressman Pocan at Rep. Mark Pocan, REP like representative, and his website is pocan.house.gov.